This is entitled Simultaneously. So, it's 2020. In 2020, I feel like we shouldn't be going through racial injustice and a pandemic at the same time. Racial injustice doesn't belong in a pandemic. Coronavirus is killing people daily. Testing is being done daily. More deaths are happening daily. Yet, in the midst of that, there's racial injustice like George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Jacob Blake, and that's just to name a few. And the president that we have is not doing anything in reference to this racial injustice. He actually is like, oh, the police are doing a great job fighting off protesters. Really? This guy? Like, how do you feel like you're doing anything to help the racial injustice? If you're not helping solve the problem, then if you're not helping find a solution, then you're part of the problem. But like I said, simultaneously we're going through racial injustice and a pandemic, and it's hurricane season. So like all this stuff is happening simultaneously, and the leadership in this country is not doing anything about it. I mean, I know you can't do anything about a natural disaster, but as far as racial injustice and a pandemic, you haven't done anything to solve the problem at all. Like, how can you go to Kenosha and talk about, oh, they're looting, they're shooting, they're this, they're that. The person who murdered two people and injured a third during a protest did a great job, and you're not talking about the fact that they're protesting because police officers shot a melanin king in the back 7 times in front of his kids. How do you not say anything about that? You want to talk about the fact that people are looting and protesting, and you're not talking about the fact that, or the reason why the protest is happening, or why people started the Black Lives Matter movement, or anything of that nature. So don't talk to me about how the police are doing a good job and how you're law enforcement and you're commander-in-chief and you're not commanding anything but for police to break up protests. Like, you literally had police break up or National Guards break up a protest, a peaceful protest at that, for a photo op. Who does that? Only Donald Trump. So racial injustice doesn't belong in a pandemic, but these things are happening simultaneously, and I just felt like I had to say something about it because the country or the president does not care nothing about my melanin skin and does not probably feel like melanin people matter at all. Everybody has melanin in their skin, but you know, other races, especially Caucasians, can walk down the street with a gun and raise their hands and say, oh, it's not me, da 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 da, murder 2 people and injure a third. And the police didn't catch him until later on. But this man could be walking in a car or walking around a parking lot trying to get to his car and be tackled and killed. Or even months before where, a man was asleep in Wendy's parking lot and ended up being murdered because they claim he had a weapon. A taser has no match for a gun. So how is racial injustice happening during a pandemic and the president does nothing about it? That's all I got for y'all. That was simultaneously. I am the Creative Expressor. You can follow me on YouTube, subscribe. You can shop at Creative Expressor Beauty, which is my beauty supply store. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. Y'all continue to be blessed, be safe, because this pandemic is real and racial injustice is real and it's still alive and happening in America in 2020. Oh, and support I almost my best married my best friend. It's available on Walmart.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and Amazon.com.